Hey everyone, Bracer Jack here. I just finished watching Season 7, Episode 1 of Black Mirror, and I have to say, I'm struck by something I haven't seen discussed in any of the countless commentaries out there. Many of them focus on the idea that the two main characters are victims of their environment. And while I agree with that to an extent, there is a much deeper layer of pure evil at play that seems to have been completely overlooked. And that's what I want to talk about today. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this episode yet, you might want to stop watching now. Seriously, go watch it and then come back. This episode centers on a couple who are desperate to have a child. In other words, to bring a being capable of feeling pain and suffering into a world that is inherently full of it, and without that being's consent. We live in a society that often celebrates this act. So let's set the societal acceptance aside for a moment and look at the core of their desire. The episode starts pleasantly enough. Everything seems perfect. They're in love. Then comes the typical Black Mirror twist with the robot bees, which is to be expected. The couple celebrates their anniversary, full of romance, and then they try to conceive. But they are met with disappointment when the female gets her period. For them it's a letdown, but in a way, a life was spared from entering this world of potential suffering. The husband, a construction worker, is later shown by a friend how a male streamer degrades himself for money. And he expressed his disgust at people who would sacrifice their dignity for income, like performing unspeakable acts online for money. Then the wife experiences a serious brain issue, faints and ends up in the hospital. The doctor's prognosis isn't good. More suffering. A tech company then approaches the husband with a groundbreaking solution. A cloud subscription service that can take over the non-functioning part of his wife's brain, essentially giving her a second chance at life. During this discussion, the company's marketing person asks the husband if he has children. He replies, not yet. The marketing person responds,
"This will give you time."
This is where things really start to get dark. The show then illustrates how the husband has to work double shifts just to pay for his wife's brain subscription. The couple soon discovers that their low-tier subscription severely limits their travel distance. To move further afield, they need to pay for extended coverage. Later, the wife realizes she's involuntarily sprouting advertisements. To stop this, they need an even higher tier subscription. Despite working double shifts, the husband can no longer afford this mounting cost. So he finally resorted to doing what he initially thought he would never do, and began utterly compromising his integrity in front of the webcam for money. The tech company continues to exploit them, demanding yet another upgrade. They inform the husband that his wife needs to sleep more because her processing abilities are being used to support the company's overall server workload. To prevent this, they have to pay more. The husband went full in with the webcam thing and started to do even more extreme and self-demeaning things to keep his wife alive. Eventually, he's discovered at work. A fight ensues and he's fired. Desperate, the couple returns to the tech company, hoping for leniency. At this point, I found myself sympathizing with them, right up until they reveal that they are still trying to have a child. The tech company, of course, informs them that pregnancy requires extra processing power, which means another added cost. The husband explodes in anger and storms off. Eventually, the husband sells the baby crib, a symbolic act of giving up. Here's the critical point. They gave up because they can no longer afford their desire, not because the immense suffering his wife endured, or his own descent into wet slavery awakened them to the harsh realities of life. It wasn't because he realized the depth of the pain and indignity required to survive in their world. No. It was simply because they could no longer finance their wish to bring a new life into their already miserable situation. His wife eventually tells him, gently, that she no longer wants to live like this. In a final desperate act of kindness, he terminates her life, ending her suffering. Through all this trauma, the idea of having a child remained on their minds. So many people express sympathy for these characters, and frankly, I'm baffled. Are we serious? I've never seen a Black Mirror episode where the main characters are this overtly evil. Imagine being in their situation and still choosing to bring another life into it. Imagine knowing firsthand the pain, the suffering, the wage slavery this life demands, to the point where you have to sell your dignity just to survive, as this episode so clearly depicts, and still wanting to subject another being to that existence. These two characters, in my view, are among the purest evil villains ever written for a Black Mirror episode. The only positive outcome here is that they fail to bring another life into their abysmal existence. The fact that so many people view them as victims speaks volumes about humanity as a whole, and is truly disheartening. This has been my commentary. This is Bracercom, signing off.